Okay, so we're gonna tell you about some cheap, inexpensive ways to sit your horse. And so I use a bean bag. This is the one that I designed and made, or I have made for me. And yeah, really good. They're different sizes, so you can put them on one side or the other to kind of get the right size for your horse. But not everybody wants to go buy a really expensive bean bag. So if you're just planning on sitting your horse just a little bit, just once in a while, you want something to maybe see if you even like it, we're gonna go over some things that you can use that are not very expensive. So top of my list is a tote. I don't know if you guys have seen the totes. They normally move them around with a forklift. They've got some straps in the top, and they normally have like pellets in there, sometimes hay cubes, yeah, different bulk material, sometimes grain. And so, yeah, you can buy one of those totes. They're pretty thick, kind of a woven plastic fabric, and you can use one of those. They rip a little easier than something like this, but yeah, they're not bad to, especially to get started with, and they're cheap. They're Facebook Marketplace, anywhere from free to $10. We'll find you a tote. So if you go to a place that uses them, or maybe one of your horse trainer guys, a lot of times they'll get grain in them, so something like that, you can find them. Okay, when you fill them up, you can fill them up with lots of different things. I normally fill these up with styrofoam. This is a block of styrofoam I got Facebook Marketplace. I normally fill them up with blocks, something like that. You can also use like piece of styrofoam. This is an old styrofoam cooler that somebody was throwing away. So you can find small blocks of styrofoam or styrofoam coolers. You want the rigid stuff. The smaller, you can also use like styrofoam peanuts. The smaller and more compact they are, the more it's going to sink down and kind of flow out to the side when your horse sits on it, and that doesn't give them as much support. So they're going to be a little bit more worried about that. The firmer it is, without being too uncomfortable, the more they think that thing's going to support them, and so the more confident they are at sitting on them. So pros and cons of both. I like using this one. It's fairly comfortable for a human to lay on, but it's not as comfortable as like one with little peanuts or something in it that's a little bit more smooth. So yeah, just cut it up in little blocks. You can also use, if you have a pile of sand or a dirt pile, or maybe a shavings pile, even used shavings like your manure pile out there. Doesn't smell the best, but if it's got a pretty steep angle, you can use that to kind of sit your horse on. Say those are normally fairly cheap. A snow pile, if you live where it snows, have a pile of snow, you can use it, something like that. So yeah, those are things that you can use to kind of sit your horse on without spending a bunch of money for a bean bag. But yeah, see if your horse likes it. I can tell you, I'm gonna show you in a little demonstration in another video on one reason why I think it's really good for people to sit their horse while I sit all of mine. There's several reasons, but one of them is just physical. It just kind of helps them physically if they learn to sit on a beanbag. Helps do some really cool things for them. So anyway, check out that video. Otherwise, catch you guys later.